reverse the camera. There we go.
And you want it on, actually, no, you had it right.
Yeah, I want it like, this might be easier.
Okay.
Showing it like this.
Yeah.
Showing it sideways.
Let's see. That's not going to turn it off if it pushes on that, is it?
I don't think so. I might have to take it out of the case, 10 to 1. Give it a sec. Should I?
It'll hold better if we take it at least out of this case. You don't have to take your
stuff out. My wallet out. Yeah, here you go. Oh, yeah, just do that. Then I'll put the wallet in my pocket. Might be too big.
No, it'll do it. I just wouldn't pull it very hard. See?
Oh. All right. Now I gotta pause the music. Copyright.
Is it zoomed in? Doesn't look like it even has that option.
What were you saying, Sam?
Is it zoomed in?
I'll check it.
Because it looks like it's getting a really, really tight, like just through the window. If there's a way to back it, but I don't see maybe this.
Yeah, hold on. That's showing us. Hold on.
Are we already live?
Yes.
They're getting all of this too.
Yeah.
Like these guys don't know what's going on.
Yes, Marty. Hold on. Where is this?
Bluegrass martial arts, where they go live first, and then they get the camera right.
That was a bad move.
Well, like I said, it's a demo.
It's a demo, people.
Yeah. It's zoomed in a little far.
Yeah, there's got to be a way to do that. I've never.
Pilot episode always sucks.
Yeah. First time is always bad. Okay. God, this.
Yeah, first season's never the best season unless.
No, it's not, Thomas. You're right. Oh God, I'm trying to figure out. Maybe it's because we're so far in. I don't know. Apologies, folks. We are literally. Yes, Marty.
Yeah, we are live. Man.
Okay.
We're live to the world.
Where the hell?
Watching this live right now.
Yeah, I'm literally.
Later when they check it.
Well, we can always
If you
fix.
guys watching later when it's like the video and no longer a live,
Yeah.
just skip to the timestamp, which will no doubt be provided later.
Yes, we'll figure out a way to do that.
Yeah, we can do that in the comments.
Yeah.
The timestamp.
Yeah.
Put timestamp when
There you go.
the video actually.
At the worst case, we can just use Marty's phone.
How does this work? How does this look?
I don't know
Uh,
how to go live.
You're.
Right about having the lights
I can
on.
show you how to do it, Marty.
Thank you.
Well.
Yeah, see, it looks incredible on this, except that the camera picture
Is
only
like-
doing this much.
It's not
Yeah,
showing
yeah,
it
we're
far
really
enough.
zoomed in. So I can't figure
No.
out how to pull it back.
Well, what we could do is put it straight up and
But
down.
it's
Oh, there you
that-
go, Marty.
Ooh, how'd you do that? Oh,
Just go like that.
Oh,
He did the pinch.
Should have known the pinch thing, of course.
That's what I was trying to do.
Thank you, Marty.
Marty is a phone effing genius.
Genius.
Yeah. What's genius about figuring out how to zoom in and out? Yeah, that does look good.
Now we're ready to rock and roll here. Okay.
Marty saved the day.
Marty saved the stream.
I saved the day.
Now I just gotta share it on Facebook.
All right, are you ready?
All right, guys. Let me just share this. Okay.
I'm Luke Skywalker, and I'm
All right. Hold
Hold
on.
for her.
Yeah.
Like it, we'll just do this a lot more, right?
Yeah, sure.
We usually use this space. How we're shooting is actually crisscross of how we usually use it. We usually go from this side to that
That's
side,
right.
as opposed to forward and back. You can see it's not as deep this way. So when we get to, guys, the parts where we would be doing like the walking here, we'll only be taking a few steps and probably actually just switching your feet where you're standing.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, right? We'll be just doing them like this as opposed to like walking forward and walking backward.
Yeah.
2 steps. Yeah. 2 steps or just switching even right where you are. Step forward, step back, step forward, step back,
Yeah.
turn, right?
I just turned on the chat, by the way,
All right, good.
in case people have questions and stuff. So.
which we'll answer afterwards. 'Cause
Yeah,
to see
we
you
can't.
win.
Yeah. And for folks wondering, Sam nor I can see the chat right now, and I'm the one hosting it, so we'll answer all your questions and things after the show.
Excellent. All right, so first up we have our salutation, right?
Yeah.
Salutation has 9 parts to it, and the first part, I'll count you through it. You're pointing down, holding the saber down toward the ground, and your left hand's reaching up high, right? It's like you're reaching for the wisdom that we seek to attain in this time of training and instruction. Step 2, you bring the sword up kind of to where the hilt would be between your eyes, like a salutation, and the other hand's coming across the belt, or where the belt would be, palm up. Right? It's actually showing that you don't have any other weapons here, exposing yourself that way. And then we drop from the right hand, instead of being between the eyes, we drop down into that open palm. That's the third step. Step 4, we step back with the right foot. I'm going to turn the sword horizontal, and we're bowing down to your training partner in this instant. Step 5, we point the sword down, and we reach forward the left hand. So we're extending the hand of friendship as well to our training partner. Step 6 is the wisdom pose, and once again that palm up, exposing that you don't have any other weapons, we just have this one, while the other one is crossed your forehead, your forearm crosses your forehead, and the blade points down to the ground. Step 7, we're going to step back with the left foot, bringing your left arm up bent 90 degrees. We're going to have the weapon here in the bend of your elbow. And this is a defensive position here as we lean back. We're trying to be warriors of peace, not war, so to speak. So you're pulling your weapon back as an offering of peace. This next step 8 is we cover our eyes and we touch the ground of the blade. And this is recognition of your own mortality. If you were to come into battle, recognizing that we are mortal and it's possible that you could die and your body would fall to the ground. And the last move 9, you bring your left foot back up again, and you make a big arc with the sword, and you cut downward and diagonal from the left to the right. Here, what we call a Simach, and that's a symbol of your spirit being unconquerable, right? Okay. So those are the 9 steps. Let's just do it all together once in a more fluid.
I'm just checking. Yeah, we're still good. I'm just checking the live chat to see if anyone said anything.
Oh, nobody's saying.
No, not yet.
We're not that cool.
Or no.
All right. We said you'll answer the questions later.
Yeah, we're going to answer them later. All right, so whole thing. We have step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. That's the salutation we use.
Bannerlord group that has 40,000 people on it.
There you go. Share it to everything, whether it has anything to do with it or not. All right, good. So after we've done our warm up here, usually what we do, we call this the wave, and that's where we move from side to side. But we'll just do it as we stand in place. The first one is from our Shicho position, right? And by position I mean like posture, fighting kamae or fighting stance here. And you want your left side forward, knees bent sideways, and you're bringing the sword up by your ear, and grabbing the bottom here, holding it vertically. This is the first position, or what we call Shicho, that stance. So what I'm going to do for this first one is we're going to step forward with the right foot, and we're cutting from the high to the right, down low to the left. It's a diagonal cut, right? Then I'll bring it up to the other side, and again I'll step forward, step back, so I can do this in one place and not hit the camera, and cut down from the other side.
Hit the ceiling.
Yeah, bring it back up again. Then I'll step back, step forward, cut down, bring it back up on the opposite side, step back, step forward, and cut down. This diagonal cut's what they call a Simach. Sai is a downward cut, and mach is when it crosses your center line, or it moves from one side to the other. So a downward cut that's crossing your center line is this diagonal line, right? So that's what we call a Simach. Bring it back up, we step back, step forward, cut down Simach, bring it back up, step back, step forward, downward side mock. Just practicing that side mock from Shicho. You step back, step forward, cut down. Again, bring it up, step back, step forward, cut down. Right, bring it up. Good. Now, the next one we would do from this Shicho position is what we call the sweep. Sweep mock is the opposite of cutting down. We're going to go up this time, and again, we're going to cross the body. So from this position, as I step forward, like you're doing swinging a golf club, we're going to go low and cut low from the right up to the left. And this brings it right to that Shicho position on the opposite side. And then I'll step back and step forward and cut the opposite line, coming up like you're swinging that golf club. Again, I'll step back, step forward, goes low to high, up diagonally, sweep mock, step back, cut upward. Right? Again, step back, step forward, sweep mock, step back, step forward, sweep, back and forward, cut up, back and forward, cut up. 2 more times. Step back, forward, sweep up, and back, forward, sweep up. Good, all right? So the next position we're going to look at is called Makashi. This one, you're extending the sword out in front of you. Now the Makashi style actually has its, the preferred style of lightsaber also, and Thomas right now is using that with the bent hilt, like the Count Dooku style, right?
Yeah.
Where it bends forward. That makes it real easy for Thomas to point the tip at his opponent, right? Whereas us, with these straight swords, it's not impossible, but we have to cant our hand forward. Thomas is holding it more like a pistol. Gives you that pistol grip, making it real easy to always have that tip forward, and that's why that's the Makashi. Because that Makashi is full of this, like, the stance itself is just saying, hey, this is my space, right? Get back, this is my space, I'm holding this space, right? And the form of Makashi is full of thrusting. A lot of parry, thrust, circle, thrust, right? That's kind of how that whole fighting style works. And that type of saber is perfect for that. So for this one, we'll back up a little bit because this one involves some sliding.
Yes.
We're holding it out. This is Makashi. What we want to do on this one is we're going to scoot forward. So we push off the back foot and lift the front foot up. You're coming forward, and if you were on a line, you would just slide forward on that line. Still have the right foot forward, still have the left foot back, sliding forward, right? Sliding forward, right? We're essentially going to do that. 2 slides and then a step, right? Now, as we do that scoot forward, you're going to take your hand and turn your palm up this way. And when I do that, it makes a little circle, tiny circle on the end. That's actually parrying their sword if the blades were crossed, or what they call the maka. We're moving their sword out of the way just enough that we can then thrust. Right? So we go parry out of the way, which would then be followed with a thrust. We're not going to do the thrust yet. Then we practice going the other way. Same thing, my hand square, if you turn it palm down, it makes a small circle or semicircle the other way. Once again, opening that space up just enough to step and thrust, right? So you can do it either way. I can go this way, then thrust. I can go the other way, then thrust. For the sake of practicing it, we don't thrust each time, but we will slide forward and we'll first turn it palm up and parry. Slide forward again, then do the turn palm down, and then we'll just step with that front foot, lunging forward and doing a thrust, and turning that hand a little bit. Unless you've got a saber like Thomas's, there's no need to do it then, because that it's real easy, right? But with a little bit of a twist here, palm up or palm down, if you're not using a Makashi style saber as you reach forward, right? So let's do that again. We slide forward, you turn it, palm up, parry one way. Slide forward, parry, palm down, step, deep thrust. You really want to get as deep on that lunge as you can and really reach out with the saber, right?
Yeah.
Good. All right, so it's getting that deep and then as low as you can. Boom, when you reach forward. Let's do it again.
I'll give him a good poke.
Yeah, good poke, exactly. Because that's what you're doing, is you're using the length as much as possible. Really trying to reach in there to get them. Let's do that again. Slide parry up, parry down, step, deep thrust. One more time, and then we're going to actually switch hands. Makashi does left side also. We slide parry up, parry down, step, deep thrust.
Pretend your opponent's like dodging backwards, and
Yeah.
you're trying to stab him in spite of that.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, he's escaped. He's trying to get away, but we're still, boom, chasing him down. At least for the drill, right?
Yep.
And you see that in fencing too. There's a lot of back, there's a lot of forward, right?
Yeah, a
So,
lot of
yeah.
jumping around.
So now let's do the other side. Now I'm just leading with the opposite foot. Left foot's forward. Again, Makashi, extending those arms. And I want the saber at about the level of the heart, right? So we're slide forward with the left foot forward, slide forward, and I turn my hand palm up. My left hand palm up and makes a little circle. I slide again, I turn it palm down, circles the other way, and then just the left foot steps, and I extend with a twist, reaching out as much as I can. Good. Doing that again from the start. We slide parry palm up, parry palm down, step deep thrust. Good. Good. Again. Step, slide parry palm up, parry palm down, deep thrust. This little circle parry is called a Shien. That's the movement there. Shien. Your Shien one way, you Shien the opposite. And I'm not going to get into the moon and sun and the difference there, or the photo and the chromo circle stuff. But, so there are ways to identify whether you're turning it this way or turning it that way. However, the main idea is this move of the Shien. Shien, Shien, and then the thrust. And the thrust is called a Shiak. Shiak is the term for thrust. So we're sliding with the Shien, slide Shien, Shiak, deep thrust. Good. One more on that side. Slide parry, step, deep thrust. Good. What's our next one, guys? Circles?
Yeah, the circles.
Is that right? Is this our next one?
Mm-hmm.
The orbits? All right. So the orbit one, here, this one is what we call from the system of Ataru, but that's not the stance that we'll be doing per se on this one. Actually, your position here will be with more of what we would call our Vapad, Vapad position with the point up extended this way. And Vapad as a system is usually a two-sword system where you have a long one and you have the Shoto, you have the shorter one in the other hand. So if I had both swords, then I'd be holding the short one towards my opponent and the other one above the head, and then I can switch sides, I can do vice versa, right? Vapad. But if you don't, if you only have a single sword, this is the kamae or the stance, right? The shi, the position for it is this from Vapad. So I'm going to step this time, and I'm doing a front, what we call a front cross step. I'm stepping in front of my knee where my legs crisscross. Here, boom, which feels a little awkward. And then I'm going to turn by unwinding that twist. And I'm in a fighting stance. And then I'll do the other side. I'll step in front with that twist, and then I'll turn, unwinding. That's the footwork, right? You step in front, turn, step in front, turn, right? That's how that's working to advance you on this one. While that's happening, we're going to be taking the tip, and this will be coming down in a diagonal pattern to one side, making a circle and coming right back again. And the idea is that this tip is leading the way, and it's just a constant figure eight motion, right? So you're going to match every time this crosses my center lines where I should be twisting and unwinding. So when I add that with the footwork, I'll step in front, and just as it passes my center line, I turn. And it comes up, and I step in front with the other foot, and as it passes my center line, I turn, right? And I keep it circling, I'll step back, step in front, and as it passes the center line, I turn. I step in front and turn, right? It comes right back up to this Vapad position. Step, cross, twist, front cross, untwist, front cross, twist, front cross, untwist, right? So I'm stepping back so I don't, holding the same position so that I can stay in camera, right? And this is constant motion, in and out. We're going to do the same thing with the other hand, right? So just switch hands. The same idea. In this Vapad fighting stance, and when we step in front, we let the tip lead the way, come down, and we step in front with the other foot as it comes back again. And what we try to do is not stop this tip from moving in a solid, fluid, constant motion, right? The system, sword system, that this movement comes from is from like the Chinese Kung Fu, the straight sword, right? And on the straight sword, it would have a tassel on the end.
So it's like a sword dance.
Exactly. And the idea is that if I keep the sword moving in a fluid, steady arc, the tassel also moves behind it, and it doesn't at any point wrap around my own wrist, right? If you get to where you stop or your movements are kind of choppy, then the tassel's going to flip all over the place. It'll wrap around your handle, it'll wrap around your sword, right?
Yeah.
The tassel should follow the tip almost in a straight line the whole time. Because you just keep the tip moving.
I think you got some like Chinese straight sort of the tassels back in that.
Oh, I know it, yeah. I keep them on hand for just that reason, right?
Yeah.
Cross, down, comes up, and out, right?
Yeah.
So, that's the next one.
Now,
Now what do we do next? Which one am I
the
forgetting?
hut slide.
From down, from Kreneth,
Yeah.
from kneeling position.
Oh.
Alright.
This one might not be visible. We can't promise anything.
Well, if we stay back far enough, it could see the floor. I could see the camera angle here. We'll just only be able to go forward a few steps. So, from this position here, I'm kneeling on my left, right knee is up. The sword is up, about from starting at my waist, coming up at an angle toward the opponent's eyes. Right?
Yeah.
This is called Kreneth, and that comes from the how they write in Star Wars when you see their characters, right? What they call the arabesque,
Right.
or that type of font there. The letter K is they call Kreneth, and the shape of it, if you look at it, looks kind of like this.
Yeah.
Someone kneeling. There's an extended end, right?
Right.
And then there's a tip here, right? Kind of like our letter K, but not exactly.
Yeah.
So this kami, or this, again, shi, this posture represents that letter, and that's where it gets its name.
Right.
Now from here we're going to do what we call the hut slide. The way the hut slide works is, just with the feet, is I want to rock forward and drop my knee in front of my toes. And as I do, I have to slide the back knee up to the back of my front foot. I come all the way up so I can drop this knee all the way to the ground. And you can see my weight's dropping forward like I'm going to fall over. And I would, if I stopped here, I would just fall face first. So from here, I can't stop. I got to keep my momentum moving by kicking forward with that opposite foot all the way up to replace the front leg. And when the left leg is forward, I'm going to have the sword above my head. This position, what they call the gem so, right? And then from this position, when I go forward again, now the left knee, again dropping down in front of the left toes, I'm pulling the right knee forward and stepping up. When the right leg is forward, I'm going to back up to be sure we're in frame. That's when you're doing your cut, and it's just the side, it's just straight down, right?
Right.
So we'll only be able to do one forward and then come right back again.
Right.
So if I'm here, right side forward, I drop down, bring the left side up. I drop the left side down and I cut.
Right. So.
Right? And then we got to back up.
Now the next one might be a bit difficult.
We're going to do this one a couple times. Yeah, we won't be able to do this one, the next one on film. So you're out, man. You ain't got to worry about it. You ain't got to worry about the talon roll on film. That's tricky.
We'll cover why in a minute.
Oh, Thomas just did a talon. There you go.
Okay, that's what you're missing.
Why are you doing the talon roll too?
Hey!
Well, we could do it across the
So we'll
way,
do it
but-
side to side.
Yeah, we'll do it across the.
Let's do two more of these, just so that we can get the practice down. The hut slide, right?
Okay.
So you drop the right side forward, raise it up when the left foot's forward.
Yeah.
Drop the left foot forward, and cut down as the right foot steps forward. One more.
Okay.
And then, yes, I'll talk through the talon roll also. They don't want to leave that out. They like that, especially Ben.
He's
Rock
joking.
forward, raise it up, step
It's
again.
not funny if you
Cut
explain
down.
it.
Yeah.
All right, good. So let's look at the talon roll. Talon roll.
And I'll be the one to demonstrate it, despite it looking a little off.
For the Talon roll, the idea is you've lost your balance. You are going to fall forward.
Yeah.
You're going to fall forward, but what you don't want to do is face plant. You don't want to hit any of your bony parts. Whether that's you reach out with your wrist and bust your wrist, or land on your elbow, bust it there, or even just hitting your shoulder or your head.
Yeah.
And you don't want any hard part to hit the ground.
And you certainly don't want to land on the old plasma baton.
Yes, and
You
you're
don't
gonna
wanna
hold.
fall on
That's
your
the other
own
thing. You're
saber
gonna be
either.
holding the sword the whole time. So as you're falling over it, it is under you, and you want to continue turning without
Until
falling on top of the sword that you're carrying.
until you're far away enough from the opponent.
So what I want to do is transfer contact.
Yeah.
When you make contact with the ground, say your hand touches first. As soon as it does, as soon as it feels the ground, I want to quickly transition that contact to my forearm.
Yeah.
Which will quickly then transition to above the elbow, which will then transition to going over the shoulder and all the way to the opposite back leg or rear end, right? In fact, when you're finished with the roll, you should come right back into the creneth position.
Hey, is there
which you
like
finished
a
here.
link to the Bluegrass Martial Arts website in the description?
I'll add it once we're done.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because people need to some people might want to join the class.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I'll include it once we're done.
Right?
Well, please do.
So before Ben does it in real time, I'm gonna do it slow motion. Right?
Yeah.
Slow motion. So if I'm holding my sword, I'm gonna drop it down toward my feet.
Yeah.
I'm going to go over the sword. So as I do that, I'm dropping down. The first thing that's going to make contact, honestly, is the hand that's holding the sword. And then I want to transition to the arm, to the shoulder, and around to the opposite side. I'll kind of do it at a diagonal. I think that would be the best way to see it. So as I drop down, I'm going to slowly come up on the opposite side in a position that's still on guard in this creneth as it rolls up. And I don't want to feel like any of the ground hit hard. It should feel real smooth, that transition can happen even if you were coming, like jumping over something, being able to go into this. Of course, that's later levels. But the idea is that instead of falling and injuring yourself, you use that momentum, take it into a roll, come right back up, ready for combat.
All right.
So give it a try.
All right.
Talon roll.
I apologize if this looks wonky. It's just how I do it.
Oh,
That's not the best demo of it, folks, but.
oh, stop with the self-deprecation.
There you go.
It's getting old.
Thomas.
All right, good.
Get it, Thomas.
Yeah. Thomas kind of did it how I did it, but Sam did it perfectly.
There he goes.
So,
Yeah,
that's our
I
Talon.
wasn't self-conscious about it, so.
Yeah.
Get it, Marty.
Good job,
Oh,
Marty.
Very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the idea, that you want it to be soft and smooth and silent if you can, right? You're working on receiving the ground without it being painful and without it making any noise, right?
Exactly.
So we use all of that just for our warm-up, right? That's
Yeah.
all we've done so far is just warm up at this point. But now we're going to shift to some of our fancy stuff. All right, we'll hold the sheen for another time
Yeah.
because it takes longer when you're explaining what you're doing.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a few of our tricks. We're not gonna do all of them. Right? Use a few of our like warm up, the wrist, and some of the fancy fun stuff that you do. First one we're gonna do is a transition from one hand to the other hand. Right? I want to take it from this hand into this hand. The way I'm gonna do that is bringing it down in an arc. And of course, you could just pass it. Right? But the way that we do it
This
with
way it looks
Ataru,
cooler.
this is the way we do it in Ataru. In the
It's a
actual
block.
Dulong,
Right?
the Dulong positions
Yes.
here, yeah, you're defending yourself and you switch hands, right, as it comes out into the other hand. So it comes low this way and it's like you're coming up like you're hitchhiking here. And there's a point where this wants to come out of your hands. You'll start to feel like it's peeling out of this, like where your pinky finger, where your lower fingers are. It'll feel like it's coming loose. At that point, I want to actually let it come out, reach across with the other hand, and let it pass from one to the other. And it's not so much, there's only a second there where there's not a hand on the sword, right? But it's brief, but for a second, there's no one holding the sword and I'm grabbing it with the other hand. And I continue that motion out to the other side. Do the same thing back, come up, like you're hitchhiking, it comes out, I catch it
Oh,
with the other hand,
Sam.
come out.
What?
Camera sideways, someone said.
Is it?
Yes.
the whole thing.
I guess.
Just rotate your monitor, it'll be fine.
Yeah, just rotate the,
We need to do it north and south.
What do they mean? Like it's like taking it like that?
They mean this
Yeah.
is what they're actually looking to see. See if that should improve
Now
it.
we can't capture
Yeah.
anything.
just put it.
Got one. We'll just capture Sam, I guess.
I just brought the iPad out here and somebody said that in the chat.
Ask them if it's better now.
Alright, is it better now, folks? Because we just turned it so.
Let me get it up on my phone. So we can chat too on my phone.
Yeah, I got my iPad right here.
Growing pains.
Well, what does it look like on that? Messed up.
No, it looks.
Say, it may be only a desktop that it does that. Maybe if you're watching it on a mobile thing where it's used to flipping.
Well, on the mobile phone, then you can't even flip it because it'll flip back to the wrong side.
It'll always be like
Okay, Marty.
looking at it like this,
Yeah.
right?
Alright.
Just
Maybe you can like lie down on the bed or
Yeah.
yeah, lie down on the bed but set it vertical.
Yeah, that would be pretty funny.
But
Alright.
once it's like
Well, hopefully
upside
now
down,
we're fixed,
unless it's
Alright.
like upside down, then we got.
and we'll have to
another
figure
problem.
out how to set the adjustments so that we can actually shoot it. Because it would be better to do it, I think, the
Yeah,
live
well,
stream
Oh
way.
yeah.
So we just have to
Yeah.
figure out how to do it that way. So that,
Yeah,
Maybe-
well, I
maybe
can't.
Before we start streaming.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't realize
So-
it would look that way at the beginning. Alright,
All right.
anyway.
So I'm passing it from this hand to this hand. I'm coming up, just like you're hitchhiking. It's coming out, and I'm catching it in the other hand and coming out to the other
Yeah.
side, right? Then I'm going to
Yes,
reverse
yeah.
direction. Come out, it comes out of this hand. I catch it in the opposite hand and continue on through. Boom. Was it your buddy that you said would be watching us?
No, it was someone else.
It was someone else?
someone else.
We have
doing it.
somebody else watching us?
Yeah, someone was watching us, yeah. And their name is Sullivan Merrill.
Shout out to Sullivan Merrill for
Yeah, for
impromptu,
watching us.
impromptu tech support.
And thank you for letting us know that we had that wrong. All right, we're gonna do the same pass from one end to the other, but I'm gonna go behind the back this time, right? This is actually
Better
easier.
not.
I'm gonna come behind the back here, and when I do, I'm just putting my arm behind my back with the blades pointing up. We call this, in the other martial arts that I study, we call this the hammerlock position. It's also called the chicken wing position here, right? Like when you would lock somebody's shoulder. But I put it in this position here, and I just reach behind with the other hand and pass it off, right? It's actually pretty easy. Just go to that hammerlock position. What you do have to watch is your ankles. 'Cause it's not hard to accidentally slap yourself with the saber. So you want it out far enough away from your backside that you're not actually clipping your own leg in the process. So
Yeah.
going from here, hammerlock, pass it off, other hand, and then back again.
Right.
Out and back, and then back. Good. All right, now we'll take both of those and put them together for our last one. We'll go from here, pass it in the front, then go back behind. All right?
Alright.
Front pass, and I'll show you one of these next times how this can become an offensive fancy move
Yeah.
as well, right? We're just going to change it from vertical to horizontal when we do, right?
Yes.
Then I'll go the other way. I'll come back, go behind the back this way, but to the front this way. Just pass it from one hand, behind the back,
Ooh.
in front, behind the back, and in front. Boom. Letting it roll like I'm doing a hitchhiking move here, and it's coming out of my hand anyway. I just catch it with the opposite hand. Behind the back, and roll and catch. Good. And that's good too, just to kind of get the wrist warmed up.
Wrist going.
Right.
Yeah.
And we'll look at next time doing like the Obie Annie or the high-low whip.
Yeah.
Some of the other cool
I'll give
stuff
a
we do.
brief.
We do. Yeah. Tom's got it here. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Right.
It's all in the hips.
We have all kinds of cool tricks that we like to play with, right? That we just build
But if
on.
we had more time, we could demo
Other
those.
cool passes from one hand to the other.
Like
Michelle C. Michelle C. Smith. Michelle C. Smith puts stuff on YouTube and puts stuff on Instagram.
Where she
We'll
shows-
practice a lot, try a lot of her tricks.
I thought there's videos of like people bringing lightsabers into airsoft tournaments. So it was like I was like, oop, gotcha.
No, but she does tricks like this, only even more fancy.
Yeah.
Right. All right, so let's look at we'll look at one of our patterns for today.
Those
Right?
like maybe choreographed lightsaber duels. Maybe not who you're talking about, but it's just things, lightsaber stuff you can find on the YouTube.
Yes, on the YouTube. Here at the Louisville Jedi Academy, we observe 10 styles of lightsaber fighting.
Yes.
There are, officially they'll say that there's 7, but 3 of those have 2 names.
Yeah.
So we recognize those as actually 2 separate systems. They'll say it's Dijem So Shien as one system. Well, we'll actually observe Dijem So as its own system, and Shien is a completely separate system with a separate tradition.
Yeah.
Same is true with Niman. Niman and Jarkai are paired together, but we observe those as 2 separate systems. And there's a reason they observe them together, and I explain all that on the website. But for our purposes, and to make it an even much fuller study of the sword and martial arts, we observe as 10 separate styles. So Soresu is the one we're going to look at today.
Yeah.
And Soresu, the shi, or the stance position on this, is your feet will be similar to the way they were when we did Makashi earlier, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like one foot's facing forward. I relax that a little bit. I'll even angle mine slightly to the side, but it can also be straight ahead if it wants. And the other foot on that line, the heel matches that line and comes out to the side.
Yes.
You're in mostly, and the point is, a deep but relaxed sideways position. So all of the good targets are all on the center line, but the center line is off target, right? To get my center line, my opponent really has to come over here if they want to get a cut to the center line. So from this position here, with holding the sword at the hip, kind of like we did with Kreneth, and we're pointing the tip at the opponent's eyes, right? It's up at an angle. That is the stance position for Soresu. And this is a very good neutral position. And again, it's just threatening enough that somebody who's prepared to attack isn't going to come right in, because that tip, they'd be stepping right into a thrust, or just stepping into that. The tip's just too close for this, right? From this position here, when we're ready, we're going to give them the opening to attack. Right?
Yeah.
We'll do the first one in the sequence, and since we've been talking about this Shicho position, the first one is the from the Soresu style, but the first, what we call velocity, is from, or is called the Shicho.
All right.
Shicho velocity, right? So, because we're going to take this stance. So we start here, then we step back with the right, and we take this Shicho position. Now, when you do that, you've got an opponent. That's the way the velocity works. You're working, it's interactive. Your opponent's job is to be in the position of what we call the Dijem So, where the left foot's forward. Most of the weight is on that front leg, right?
Yeah.
Back leg's like a brace. And we're holding it above the head here at kind of an angle, about 45 degrees back that way, right? And from this position here, this is a threatening position. It's a powerful position. It's a confident position, and they're gonna attack by stepping forward with the right with a side, straight down cut. The idea is they're splitting you right down the middle, right? That's their role. They're the attacker here. So as the attacker, they take this position, they step and they attack, but they won't do that attack while you're holding the Soresu position. Right? You control the situation with this Soresu position. When you want them to attack, when you're ready, you give them an opening by stepping back to Shicho. Now I just gave them all of this. Right? Now they want to cut.
Right.
So when I step back and I give them my shoulder, I give them my head, come to here, I look more, I don't look as defended. That's when the attack comes. Right?
All right.
So as the attack comes, they're trying to split me straight down the middle. You're going to receive that attack. Best block, don't be there. I want to be out of this line. Right? I can't stay here because the sword's going to take this space. So what you do is you step forward with your right, but just a little bit to the right. And you swing your left foot back toward the left corner. Now I've opened this space up. And that all has to happen as they attack. I go here, they see an opening, they take it, I step, and turn. And as we turn, we do the Saimak. Come down diagonal. Boom. And with Soresu, we use what's called the Shim quite a bit. Soresu's a heavy, light-sided style. Doesn't mean you can't be a dark Jedi and still have Soresu be your style. But for the most part, it's a light side style because it uses the Shim so much. And the idea is you're in control of the sword. It's not in control of you. And you will stop at a hair's breadth from actually killing them and just give them a little burn instead.
Unless maybe you're the aforementioned Dark Jedi, in which case you just follow through.
Yeah.
Right.
Or if you had to, right? But the idea is that you're beating them with perfect timing and perfect distancing to kind of get that checkmate position. And it's, boom, right here on his neck, essentially. You will be holding the sword right on his neck after he's missed you with his attack. Boom. Yeah. That's the timing. The swords don't actually meet. They don't cross. There's no clashing at all. They go to cut, and you, boom, you return, meeting right above his cut and stopping your sword from cutting him right across the throat.
This thing was purple when we started.
Yeah.
Now it's red.
Yeah, that means it needs new batteries.
Or it means he's a Sith. Good. So we cut down and we stop. Boom. And as soon as you stop here, right, that's actually the end of the encounter here. And the way the velocity works is you switch roles. From here, I would step back with my right foot facing the opponent and raise the sword to the Jim So. Now I've become the attacker, right? And as I do that, that person who just got beat will face his opponent, which is now maybe, in the Soresu position, right? So we switch roles each time, and you're slowly moving around in a circle.
Slowly dance around in a circle.
So just without the attacker, and we'll show it with the attacker in a second, we start in Soresu, whole thing. Only takes a couple steps to do it. We step back to Shicho, and that gives him the attack. When his attack comes, step forward and turn just off line and stop that cut right before you get him. Right. Now you've finished, and it's their turn. You step back with your right foot and raise it to Dejimso, and you wait. They're going to turn and point that sword right at you with Soresu. And when they step back into Shicho, giving you that whole side, that's when you go and attack. And now they're going to bring that sword down and stop right here. Right? Without actually hitting you, just close enough that it would burn. Right?
Yeah.
And then they're going to step back, and you're going to reset. And then you're going to be facing this corner.
It's pretty much like a roller dance.
Right? You step back into Shicho. They go to cut. You step offline, and right above his cut, burn just above the neck. And then step
And
back
that doesn't really do
into
anything.
Jimso. And then when they're ready, and they've taken that position, giving you the opening, you step in, and so forth and so on. It's kind of an endless exercise. And the whole point is to be able to embrace that perfect timing, perfect distancing, and to be able to stop that sword, right, rather than actually smacking your opponent here, right? Be able to stop just short of actually the killing blow, right? So we'll show a demonstration of how that would look, right? We'll start side to side. Who wants to do it with me?
I will.
You will! I knew he would. I knew he would. You're going to start as the actual Jedi in this case, right? And I'm going to be the attacker in this case.
Yeah.
So start with it there you go. Soresu, point right at my eyes. We probably have to back up because our...
Yeah, just a bit. Yep, that perfect.
Perfect right here?
Yep.
All right. So you point it right at my eyes. I can't move right now. If I go to attack him while he's got it pointed at me, I'm effectively stepping right into his sword. That's stupid.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
That's stupid. That's not going to happen. So that's the idea of Soresu. They're not going to attack while you've got Soresu. You are in control of his space. When he steps back to Shicho, now he gave me an opening. When I step in to take that opening, he moves out of the way. Yeah. And see, stops just enough to give me a burn. Then he takes a step back and goes to Jijinso, raise above the head, and I turn to Soresu. And once again, he's not going to attack while this thing's in his face, right? But when I switch, he'll come straight down, go for my forehead, and I'm moving out of the way and stopping just short of actually cutting his head off.
Yeah, and then I move back.
And then I step back, and you point it right at me again. Right?
Yeah.
And we just keep switching roles, switching
Right,
places.
exactly.
You go back to Shicho, and I attack, and you move over here, hit! Yeah, timing it just right. Then you step back to Dijemso, and I shift to Sarasu. We just switch places. I step back, you go to attack, go straight down, yeah, boom, right? Because I'm the one now doing the attack. You have to keep straight. Who's the attacker, and who's the Jedi? In this
Yes,
instance,
yes.
actually practicing it. All right, that is, we'll stop a little bit early there just for the sake of the video.
All right.
And
Open-ended, Thomas.
that way we have time to answer some of the questions.
All right.
Oh, wait, closing salute, and then we.
Yeah, we'll do the closing salute.
Yeah, let me just see if there's any.
Hey, it's purple again.
Yeah, there you go.
Probably won't be for long,
Came
so
back.
let's make this.
Yeah. Well, we don't have anyone in the chat right now.
Whatever,
They
they can
left
see
us.
this later.
They
It's
left
like the
us.
video.
All right, so we start here. This is our step 1. This is step 2. Drops down, step 3. Step 4, we come back, bowing to the partner. 5, raise the left hand out, friendship. 6 is our wisdom pose. 7 comes back, defensive posture. 8, you touch the ground. And 9, you're making a circle and you Simok.
All right.
That's it. Very good.
Well,
May the force be with you. And
the
all
force
the
be with
other
us
things.
all, and give
Oh
them
yeah, also shout out to Ultra Sabers for
the awesome.
Yeah.
for these.
These are all Ultra Sabers that we're using,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Until next time, folks.
Get him,
May the
Marty.
force be with you.
He's choking
May the
you.
force be with us all.
Can you
All right.
feel it? He's choking you.
All right. So we got one viewer. Yeah. Well, we have 2 likes on it.
All right. I want to see what it looks like.
Hold on, Sam. Trying to take this out. Hold on, Marty. Ah, dang it. Okay.
Do this.
Sam, we need to take my phone out of the tripod. I got it.
Good. Yeah, just.
All right, folks.
I can still
Till
see
next
on the,
time. Good night.
I